6 lines from the bottom of your base, Amid Beis. Why don't we ask about the action of a cotton? They have an action. You shouldn't ask about intent. They don't have intent. An acorn, pomegranate, a nut. Offer that children carved out to measure earth, so it's clear it's a maisa that they wanted to make a keli, or they fashioned it into a tray for a scale. Tamein, that's tummy because they show proof positive that they were making a keli because they have a maisa. But they don't have machshava. So here it says they have a maisa and they don't have a machshava. So amalei machshava great dasa like their plain intent we know is no good. The question is, what if there's a maisa that hints to their intent? Where their intent is at least could be inferred from their action. Where is it? Where the child brings an oila. The oila was in the south, and he moved it to the north, which because a kachim have to be done in the north. V'shakta, and he shechs it. Do we say and since he brought it to the north, we could infer v'shakad? It must be a chavanle. He had in mind it should be an oila. Maybe not. Maybe he just brought it to the north because there was no room in the south. He says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan said this also once. The Tanan, we know that in order for food stuff to be mekabel tumah, it needs to be moistened. And you have to want it to be moistened. You don't have to moisten it yourself, but you have to be pleased that it's moistened. The Tanan, if you bring your fruit up to the roof, because of insect infestation, not because that it should get wet, and dew came upon it, since you didn't show you wanted to do, it's not considered mukhshel l'kabel tumah. However, if you had intent for that, if it's brought up to the roof by a deaf, mute, imbecile, and a minor, even though they say they wanted it to get wet, why? They have an act. That's only if they didn't turn them around. But if they turn them around, so that shows why would they turn them around? Because they wanted to get wet on both sides. Then so the Gemara says the shaila is the din that yeshla ma'asav ein la machshav is daraisa or derabana. Now, Rabbi Nachman Yitzchak had the same discussion, but it presented a little differently. Rabbi Nachman Yitzchak masnei hachi. Rabbi Yochanan cotton yeshla ma'asa ein la ma'asa. Does a cotton have a legal act or not? Amalei Rabbi Ami v'tibaylei machshava mai. Why don't you ask v'tibaylei machshava? Why don't you ask whether they have a legal intent? Because it says ein la machshava. You shouldn't ask about an act. Like in the case where they carved out the acorn or they fashioned the scale, the pan for the scale. Says is it biblical or rabbinical? Or pashit, if they do an actual maisa, like carving out the acorn, then afilu midaraisa. It's mekabel tumah even biblically. Ein la machshava, they don't have a machshava, afilu midrabanan. And therefore, if they shacht an oila without any maisa, then it's definitely no good. Machshavtei nikeres meseich maisa, if you could infer from what they did, like we moved it from south to north, midaraisa ein la, it's not good enough for biblical things, so it wouldn't be good enough for oila. Midarabanan yeshla. Now, it seems to be here for sure that you have to have in mind to do it for a carbon. Here we turn to Eddie, who's great at the dartboard, and he throws a dart to hit the bullseye. He missed, by the way. But along the way, he shechts an animal, but he didn't plan on shechting the animal, and the animal was kachim. I don't know how he got a dartboard in the Azara, but he did. Eddie does interesting things. So, since he didn't have in mind to slaughter the animal, he only had in mind to hit the bullseye, it's no good. That's extra ben habakar. It has to be shetei shchita l'shem ben bakar. You had to have in mind the animal. He couldn't have in mind just the bullseye. We know that that's a mitzvah. La'akiv minayim, but you said it's puzzle. How do we know that it invalidates? According to your will, you should sacrifice it. In other words, that has to be your will. You have to have that in mind, and since it's repeated, it's ma'akiv. Now, sorry everybody that we had a little bit of a interruption over here, but it's always good to chazer. We are sponsored by the Fogle family, Nishmas Yaakov Zeb ben Yodaria, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam Bas God, Yaakov Yosef, Yosef ben Sion ben Yaakov Zev, that the Neshama should have an Aliyah, Lefu Shalema for Moshe ben Miriam, for a great Shidduch for Chayat Tzivya Bas Shoshana Gittel, a great Shidduch for Batya Bas Sarah, by Mark Franklin, the Nishmas Ilana Chana Bas Yosef Avram, by Menachem Imansky, that he and all those that are waiting the shidduch should find it quickly and easily. At Salal Refuah Shalema for Yosef Shmuel ben Miriam, and that all expectant mothers should have a healthy mommy, healthy baby, especially Ariel Simcha Bas Elza Rivka. We want to learn for Mo Kushner, Moshe Yitzchak Alevi ben Nechama, for Yitzchak Mordechai ben Esther Bracha, Moshe ben Esther Fradel. We should have a refuah shalema b'seik shechel Yisrael Aaron ben Sar Pinchas Menachem ben Leah. Now, says the Mishnah, Shchita soivit kechav, the shchita of a guy. Now, the shchita of a guy is no good. The pasuk says v'zavachta v'achalta. You shecht it, you could eat it, not a guy. And since it's not good, it's like shooting it. So shchita zoivit kavim is a vela, and a nevela we know is, remember we said in the beginning of Masechtas Kalim, lamala is nevela that's not only mitama b'maga, it's mitama b'masa. Oh, but it's interesting. Even though Ike slaughtered it, we don't say that stam shchita of a guy is lavei zara. Because if it would be lavei zara, then it would be takruvas mesim. It would be like a mason. It would be matama even ba'oya. So the Gemara right away says that nevela in iser hana loy, but it won't be asa b'hana like avodah zara, which is asa b'hana. Man tana, who's the tana? Rav Kiva, Rabbi Abba, Rav Yochanan, the loy Rabbi Eliezer, not like Rabbi Eliezer. The Rabbi Eliezer ha'amar stam machshavas ovid kechavim l'avodah zara. That the stam intent of a guy is for avodah zara, and if it would be for avodah zara, then avodah zara, like bas b'cholav, is also b'hana. Reb Ami says hachi ketani. Shchitas ovid kechavim nevela. The shchita of a regular guy is nevela. Hadamin. A min is somebody that's attached to avodah zara, whether a guy or a yid. Some say min stands for Maimin Yeshu Noitzri, those that believe in Yeshu the Nazarene, Yashka. But Hadamin, La'avodas Kechavim. If he's a min, then we have to assume that it's also avodah zara. Tanino Lahad Tana Rabbanan. We learned here, like the Rabbanan teach, Shchitas min La'avodas Kechavim. The shchita of a min, like a kaimer, like a priest, is for avodah zara. Pitoi pas kusi. His bread is like they were geyser on the bread of a kusi. Taisa says it's mamish like chazer. And yaino yayin nesach. His wine is considered forbidden like yayin nesach. Svar of sifrei kaismin. His svarim are like his sifrei Sefer Torah. If he writes a Sefer Torah, it's like the Sefer Torah of a soothsayer and it has to be burnt. Peiros of Tvalim is fruit of Tevel. V'yesh Aimrim af banav mamzerim. He's not makbid that his wife should be faithful. Now that's only the Yesh Aimrim. The Tanakama holds not that way. But Tanakama, he's a priest, but that doesn't mean he wants other people sleeping with his wife. Ishtay lo mafker. He's not mafker his wife, and therefore you don't have to worry that the child is a mamzer. Amar Ma. Shchita Zayvid Kechavim Nevela. So we said that the shchita of a guy is only Nevela, meaning it's not Avodah Zarah. Says the Gemara, V'neicha Shema Minu. Why aren't we concerned that maybe he's somebody that's attached to Avodah Zarah? Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rabba Ba'avua, Ein Minim B'umas Avdei Kechavim. There aren't people that are attached to idolatry in the Goyim. The Goyim are apathetic. They're not interested. They're interested in buffalo wings. They're interested in women. They're not interested in Avodah Zarah. Says the Gemara, but we see that there's some very frum Goyim. We don't have to worry about it because the majority of them couldn't care less. They're not considered to be idolaters. They do certain things. They do certain pagan customs. Ella, they don't do it with true belief. And as the Rishonim say, and even in Eretz Yisrael, they're not from enough to say that when they do a shkita, it's for Avodah Zarah. Amar Rav Yosef Aminyumi, Amar Rav Nachman, Ein minin b'umas avdei kacham. There's no minim in umas avdei kacham. Mamai. Ilema l'shchita. If it means for shchita, hash the shchita's min, the Yisrael. If the shchita of a min who's a Yisrael, amrit asira, it's forbidden. David kacham mibai. So, I mean, if he is a min, what do you mean, ein min b'umas aylam? Even a min that's a Yisrael is disqualified. Surely a min that's a pagan is disqualified. Elul maridin. The din is that if the min used to turn people over to the government to be hanged. So the din was that if you could throw him into a pit to get rid of him. So the Gemara says, well, what's the chiddush? Hashti the Yisrael maridin. Even a Jewish min, where there's a halacha on a Jew, v'chai b'hen, you could throw him in a pit. If he's a min, dive they can chavim mebay. Amar Rav Ukva b'amama lekabel be'em carbon. The din is that a min that's a guy, you could accept from him a carbon. The Tanya, it says Adam ki Yaakov mikem carbon. Now the word mikem is extra. You could have just said Adam ki Yaakov carbon. What's Adam ki Yaakov mikem carbon? Mikem, from you, v'loy kulchem, but not from all of you. Lahitzi es amumar, to exclude a renegade Jew, like a min. But also we learn mikem b'chem chalakti. I only made a difference between a good and not good by a Jew. By a guy, anybody could bring a carbon, even a min. Says, well, maybe it's coming to tell you that we don't accept from a guy at all. From righteous ones you could accept, from wicked you can't. But by a guy, you shouldn't accept it at all. Says, well, don't think that that's what it means. The Tanya, it says ish, but it doesn't just say ish, it says ish. Ish. L'rabbi sa'ivdei kechavim, to include a guy, shenaydrin nedarim and nedavas ki Yisrael, that he could offer nedarim like Hari Alai and nedavas like Hari Zeh like Yisrael. So when it says mikem, to say a difference, it means that by you, a mummer cannot bring, but by a guy, we accept from all guy. Umetama b'masa. It's metama only b'masa, like an avela. Says the Gemara Pshita, Kevin avela. We know that an avela, that's a beferish Mishnah in Kalim. that Nevel is Matama B'Masa. Amar Rav Hachi Ktani. Zu Matama B'Masa. In our case, where it's a regular guy and we don't say Stam, regular guy is Avodah Zarah, it's only Nevel, it's only Matama B'Masa. V'yesh Lach Acheres, if it's shechted by a min, she Matama Afilu Ba'oil. It's Matama even Ba'oil because it's Avodah Zarah, Takruvas Avodah Zarah, Ve'ezu Zudu Zakruvas Avodah Kacham, a pagan, a worshipper. There, it's Matama Ba'oil, or Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, and like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira that says that it's Kizivkei Mesim, like the sacrifice of the dead, and therefore it's Matama Ba'oil, like a corpse. Ikid Amrei, Amar Rav Hachi Ktani, Zu Matama B'Masa, and V'yeshlei Achereshi Kizu, even if a min shechts it, it's only Matama B'Masa. She Matama B'Masa, vein Matama Ba'oil, Ve'ezu Zu Takruvas Avedis Kechavim, the like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, he holds that even Takruvas Avodah Zarah is not Matama Ba'oil. The Tanya, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, I'm a Menayim with Takruvas Avodah Kechavim, that a sacrifice to idolatry. She Matama Ba'oil. How do we know that it's Matama Ba'oil? Like a maze. Shenema Vayitzmedu LeBaal Pa'ar, they joined the idolatry of Baal Pa'ar, Ve'yoichlu Zivchei Mesim. And when they ate the sacrifices, they're eating sacrifices of the dead. Ma mace Matama Ba'oil, just like a mace is Matama Ba'oil, Aftaf Kruvas Avodas Kechavim is also Matama Ba'oil. Now, Hasheichet B'layla, somebody shechts in the night. V'chein asuma, and a blind person. Now, later on in the morning, he'll check to see whether he did the majority or not. So it said you have to check. The din is, if you shechted in the night, v'chein asuma sheshachat, or a blind person that did it already, shchitasik sher, but the evidence good. If the next morning you see you had the majority, it's good. But don't do it l'chatchila, because since you can't see, you might not do the majority, and then it'll be bal tashchis. Hasheichet the evid in l'chatchila loy. It's only good by the evid, but not in the first instance. V'remini lo'olam sheichten. You could always shech bein b'yoyim or bein b'layla, both in the day and in the night. Bein b'roish hagag, on the top of the roof. Now, there would be a tzad to say you shouldn't shecht on the roof, that it shouldn't look like you're shechting l'shemayim. It shouldn't look like a shchita l'avodah zarah. Bein b'roish hasvina. You could do it on the top of a boat. You see, you're not allowed to shecht into the water, because somebody will say that you're shechting l'sar yam. But you could shecht at the edge of the boat, because people will know that you're only doing it on the edge of the boat because you don't want to get the boat dirty. So here it says, L'olam sheichten. That means l'chatchila, even in the night. It says, yeah, that's when the light is on. B'shavuka kenegdai, when the light is on. Amar Rav Ashi dekanami, that our Mishnah is talking about when it's dark, and the Bryce is talking about when the light is on, when there's a torch. Diktani hasam dum yodiyim. It says bein b'yom bein b'layla. So Laila is similar to Yom, where there's light. V'acha dum yodisuma is similar to a blind person where there's no light, and that's why it's only b'diavad. Shma mina. Okay. Now we have a chumash here, a delicious one. But before we get to the chumash here, we got to count svira. We want to count svira. L'shem yichud kudsha b'richu shchintei b'tchila rechim aliyachad shem yudkei b'vavkei yichud shlim l'shem kol Yisrael hinei muchel mazum l'kay mitzvah aseh shel svira.